State Hillary Clinton is in Israel today after a donors' conference in Egypt for aid to the Gaza Strip. In Israel, she reiterated the Obama administration's, quote, unshakable, durable, and fundamental support for Israel, following a meeting with Israeli President Shimon Peres. Meanwhile, in Gaza, residents are still struggling to recover and rebuild their lives in the aftermaths of Israel's devastating three-week assault on the territory. More than 1,300 Palestinians were killed in the offensive, most of them civilian. At least a third were children. More than 5,500 Palestinians were injured. Today, we follow up on one of those stories. Democracy Now! Producer Sharif Abdel-Quddus files this report.
The reunion is very special. I'm sorry that the reunion comes after a tragedy. It would be much better if we have this reunion without any sad stories, destruction of houses, killing of my son. But there is always a bright side of the story.
You may remember Suleiman Baraka. He's a Palestinian astrophysicist who came to the United States in October to work with Virginia Tech and NASA. His wife and 4 children stayed behind in Gaza. Then, on December 29th, day 3 of Israel's assault on Gaza, tragedy struck. Israeli warplanes bombed Suleiman's house. His 11-year-old son Ibrahim was critically wounded in the attack. Shrapnel was lodged in his brain, hand, and leg. He was evacuated to Egypt for medical treatment. Suleiman immediately left for Cairo to be with his son. On January 5th, Ibrahim died of his injuries. Unable to return to Gaza to mourn with his family, Suleiman returned to the United States. Days later, he told his heart-wrenching story for the first time in an interview on Democracy Now!
There is no need to describe what a feeling of a father who is looking at his child dying. It's really heartbreaking, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel speechless. I cannot say as a father, and when I look at the photo of my son, I cannot convince myself that I will never see him again.
Suleiman said he was speaking out because he wanted people in the United States to hear his story.
My house is not a military base. Ibrahim is 11 years old. He doesn't need F-16 jet fighters to kill him. My house roof was there for me and my children to use my telescope, not anti-aircraft missiles or rockets. I have no language to express what I feel about this.
At the end of the interview, Suleiman asked that his family be allowed to join him in the United States.
Suleiman Baraka, you are asking for your family to come to the U.S.?
Yes. I don't want to receive another bad news. It's enough. I had enough.
Days after that broadcast, Suleiman received an email from the U.S. consulate in Jerusalem. Democracy Now! Went to cover the reunion. We met Suleiman outside the international arrivals gate at Washington Dulles Airport.
When I told my story, it had reflections all over the world, one of which is from the State Department. And in this regard, I convey my gratitude to U.S. Consulate General in Jerusalem, and I name Mr. Alistair Paskey and Vivian Abdullah, and all those in the State Department who helped me moving my family from Gaza. They wrote me an email that we saw your story in Democracy Now! We are devastated and our hearts go out for you. We offer our deep condolences and we offer our help if you want to move your family to a safer place to West Bank.
Calls were made, emails exchanged, and eventually the Israeli government approved. And so the U.S. government put pressure on the Israeli government to allow your family to come here?
This is very complicated and it cannot be stated in simple words, but conditional pressure. If the Israelis say yes, it means yes, but if they say no, it's no. So no pressure can change, from our experience, the Israelis. And now all these details are in the past. You know, I am now very excited to hug them, to see them, and also to listen more about Ibrahim. Because over the phone, when you have somebody in person, so the body language and also the story may be more details. Because Ibrahim will stay forever as I am his father, right? But the way he was killed is really, I hope he will be the last child in the whole universe to be killed this way from all parties. But the reunion with the family will be just great.
Also at the airport to greet Suleiman and his family was Dr. Nabil Abu Znaid, the PLO representative in Washington.
You look to this situation, a man is going to meet his wife and children for the first time without one of their children. He's missing. He's 11 years old. He was lost in the war, and we cannot bring him back. The only thing we can do to work for a better future, to bring peace. Hopefully his son would be the last. So hopefully we can have our own freedom and our independence and to live free away from occupation and oppression by the Israelis.
And why are you here today? You've known Suleiman for many years?
No, I met him after what happened to his son, after his sad story, and we met at the Palestine mission to the U.S. And today I'm with him at the airport. And within a few minutes, I'll be going inside to meet his wife and children and to bring them out here.
As Dr. Nabil Abu Znaid went to help the family clear customs, Suleiman waited outside, anxiously scanning the information on the arrivals board. As we waited, he spoke about his future plans for his 3 remaining children.
I will move them immediately to school. I want to introduce them to the American school system and culture. I need them to learn English and also to be exposed to diversity, because they lived in a tightly homogeneous society. So I wanted them to value diversity like me, to see people with different attitudes, religion, backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, and they socialize with respect and harmony with others. So they never had the chance to live in a diverse society, and I think it's good for the children. I wanted just to take them away from the environment, and also try to make the transition and the cultural shock smooth, because Ibrahim is my son, their brother, and they shared lots of stories, played together. So we wanted to share this with them, and also the main point is as long as I am in the state, they will be with me. Whatever it takes, they will stay with me.
Moments later, Suleiman's family walked out into the arrivals hall. His youngest, 6-year-old Daoud, came out first, followed closely behind by his 10-year-old daughter Waad, his wife Iman, and their 13-year-old son Muhammad. Daoud ran into his father's arms. Suleiman embraced him and his wife and children. It was a moment of happiness and relief for the family, but not without sadness.
I need some time to phrase my feelings and put them into words. Okay, I left 4 children, I received 3, but I'm still very happy to have my family here with me. Yes, I left 4 children and now we have 3, but it's okay. At least we have survival. Some other Palestinian families, they lost all the family members.
We asked Suleiman's wife what her hopes were now that she arrived in the U.S. Suleiman translated for us.
That my children live in peace and have a good education.
And did you plan to return to Gaza ever?
Do you want بتفكري ترجع على غزة؟
أكيد طبعا.
طبعا, of course.
And so while the Baraka family is reunited and together again, they are not whole. 11-year-old Ibrahim is gone forever, killed by the Israelis. And the rest of Suleiman's extended family remain in Gaza. His mother, who was badly wounded in the same attack, his brothers, nephews and nieces are all still homeless after their houses were destroyed in the 3-week Israeli assault. Just before walking out of the airport with his family, Suleiman left with one final thought.
Let's all pray for peace and stop war and talk to people. Talk always work. You can destroy a mountain by a bomb, but you cannot destroy an idea, and nothing more beautiful than an idea of peaceful coexistence. Thank you very much all. Thank you so much.
For Democracy Now!, I'm Sharif Abdul Quddus with Hani Massoud.
Special thanks to Sharif and Hani for that report.